Buenos Aires, crazy hyperinflation.
Awesome people.
And super delicious food.
We'll show you the most important insights from our 3-week vacation.
Buenos Aires and Argentina is already the 3rd country in LATAM for us, and on our modern work tour journey, it's already the 39th.
Buenos Aires is the most inspiring city so far, and you can feel and see that everywhere. On weekends, you can hear La Música Argentina, for example, in Caminito in La Boca.
Buenos Aires is not really a green city, but it has really beautiful parks. For example, the Botanical Garden, which is a perfect place for your recreation, for example, on the weekends.
I also started a new love affair.
What?
With Edgar Degas in the Museo Nacional de Bellas Artes.
I love the Monets there, so that was really nice. In Buenos Aires, we are staying in the trending neighborhood Palermo, in actually Palermo, Hollywood. You have a lot of cute cafes, awesome restaurants, and the lifestyle here is quite nice, so actually we love it a lot.
The restaurants are for everybody's taste, so vegetarian and even vegan options are included. Palermo comes not only with good food, but also with a lot of dogs. And unfortunately, that means that you really have to take care not to step into dog poop.
I think it's a little bit like Berlin actually, where you also have to take care a lot. So it's crazy how many dogs there are everywhere.
But let's talk business, Niels. What does it mean?
I think it means culture meets crisis, because it is really interesting what was happening here in Argentina, and we will dive a little bit into that. Argentina has a hyperinflation. So this year the inflation will be around 100%. It's unbelievable. This means that people never know how much their money is worth the next month, especially not the next year. So they are used to spend the money, or they try to exchange it into dollars because it's the safer currency. It also means that you normally have your salary increased around 5 to 6 times a year, which is also something we never heard before, but in this case it really makes sense. But just think about all the work just around that.
For that we talk to Federico and Marielle from Itrio. They provide IIT solutions. They told us they increased the salary before the people starting to ask. The trade-off is that they had to reduce benefits in order to save money, to focus on the important thing, to give the people their salaries.
Although Argentina is not in a good shape right now when it comes to their financial stability, it seemed to us that it doesn't hurt the atmosphere in the city, at least from what we experienced.
Very true. Culture is a very strong factor, not only for businesses. Like Peter Drucker already said, culture eats strategy for breakfast. This is also transferable to society as a whole.
Another meeting we want to talk about is with Jonathan from Encode. He calls himself a purpose agent. With him we had an amazing talk and also a really great video interview. He is focusing on creating conditions for self-empowerment.
I love his approach that you cannot empower others, only yourself. This is proactivity par excellence, and it's also a basis of modern work.
The view of Jonathan is quite holistic, and he's making us all more aware of our own capabilities.
That don't need to be told and can actually do and make a difference, because most of the time they're really close to reality, whereas managers do not work with people, with the actual customers. They have internal customers, so they don't have necessarily a great contact with reality. That's what's changing the systems like holacracy and the for-purpose enterprise. It's allowing that the people in the front line can actually bring and sense and process tensions, so the organization can adapt to this new reality, and not someone who is in an office that never even seen a customer before tells you what to do best.
So when do we have to step in? Jonathan has a quite clear view on that.
One of the most interesting things that I like about holacracy, for example, I would say that it's that you do your work tension based. That means that whenever you sense a tension, you're interpreting that there's a difference between what is and what could be. I'm processing that in one of the many pathways that I have inside of the organization.
So sensing and responding, it's so powerful.
With Jonathan, we met someone who is also pushing for a better working world as we do.
And I think we need more of that around the world so that we really can help people get into their own kind of moment, their own power, and let them have the chance to have purpose-driven work and have a good life with that.
Yes, wow, getting me goosebumps while you're saying that. Seriously, I'm getting the chicken skin now.
Nice. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
It's so great to meet like-minded people around the world and to connect with them. So thanks a lot and all the best.
And let's make our community for modern work stronger around the world. When it comes to sensing, you also can experience Buenos Aires with all your senses by dancing the tango, listen to Música Argentina, and of course by eating delicious meat. On Saturdays and Sundays, the city begins to smell like barbecue from noon on. And I'm losing meals already.
The best barbecue you can have in the so-called parrilla. It's a neighborhood grill in a way, and food tastes really good there. I would even say it is so tasty that you will probably get ruined for the rest of your life when you eat meat somewhere else, which is quite good because we should all eat less meat.
And there is also an interesting fact. Did you know that in Argentina there is no tax increase on meat? So that everybody in the country can continue to make their barbecue. Normally I would have been shocked by this fact. Pero esto es Argentina. But this is Argentina.
And we were over the moon with the good wines. I mean, come on. We had a wine tasting, for example, and like all the wines were really excellent. We were looking forward to our stay in Mendoza. A fun fact, if you ever should come to Buenos Aires, Argentina, people start eating their dinner around 9:30, 10 o'clock. So it's a time where we normally already go to bed because of our clients back home in Germany, and we have to start super early. So if you go to a restaurant at maybe 6 or 7 like Germans like to do, it's either still closed or completely empty.
In Buenos Aires, our Airbnb flat was great.
You remember our last video from Montevideo?
This one was perfect for a vacation.
You have a desk, even a funny retro gaming machine.
Of course, a nice kitchen with a half peninsula.
There was also a whiteboard, which was awesome because we were using it for our vocabularies.
As you can see, we have different working stations around the house. So we can be quite flexible here, and of course the view on the city was amazing. We just posted a video about Airbnb vacation and what you have to think about when you're planning it.
So if you want to know more about the perfect vacation, check out our channel. Here in Buenos Aires, we had really intense working weeks also with clients back home. So this meant that we were staying up super early and working a lot with them. We are really grateful for this opportunity and super happy to continuing with this remote work with our clients back home also next year, wherever we will be on this beautiful planet.
The downside here in Buenos Aires was, and we have to say it was quite tough to organize meetings here. We still don't really know why, but that was unexpected for us. Even greater was that we could meet with friends. With Elle, for example, we met her in 2018 in China, and this time we could meet here in Buenos Aires. And we had a wonderful time with Clary, she is kind of family now. She is from Buenos Aires and she lives here. So we got amazing and very local insights and had a very great wine tasting with her and a really nice visit in the museum.
So thanks also a lot to Amancio and also to Janne. You were really great connectors here in the city, and this makes it always way more fun.
Muchas gracias, muchas besos.
One of my highlights actually was also our bike journey through Buenos Aires. With the holacratic company Biking Buenos Aires, we did this quite nice journey, and Ray, who was coming with us, was telling many great stories about the city. So thanks a lot to you as well, and everybody who ever wants to do a bike tour here, you should go to them.
And we even had our first mate.
True.
And now we know how to prepare it, and we are continuing this very nice procedure. So thank you, Ray.
The first step, we didn't like it that much. But after that, it was quite tasty, and we can imagine that why everybody is walking around with it. I mean, even in the interview with Jonathan, you saw that he had his mate bowl with him during the interview. So it's so normal here that everybody has their mate bowl.
Next, we'll drive through the country to Mendoza for an interesting vineyard tour. After this stopover, we'll go over the Andes by bus to Santiago de Chile.
So if you want to know what will happen then, subscribe and leave us a like if you liked our video.
Adios and
Ciao,
ciao ciao. We spent a beautiful and very delicious night together.
Das kannst du auf jeden Fall
Das
nicht.
kannst du auch komplett raus. The vegetarian...
No,
The restaurant.
Ganz ehrlich. Ja, Culture meets Crisis. Ja, ich hab's fast geschafft. Beim nächsten Mal.
Ich sage es jetzt ein letztes Mal, wenn nicht, dann weiß ich nicht, was ich mit dir mache.
Dann mache ich meinen Teil alleine. We have a client, we have to go, we have a client.
Oh, das ist mal...